With its latest provocation, a ballistic missile launch in the direction of Japan, North Korea is reminding Washington that its boast of having weapons capable of reaching the heart of the United States may not remain propaganda for much longer. The threat from Pyongyang should be one of President Trump's most urgent priorities, yet so far, despite the White House's sharp rhetoric about how North Korea will not be allowed to continue its nuclear program and how China must bring North Korea in line, Mr. Trump's policy appears to be as ineffectual as those of his predecessors. The proof: with every missile launch, the North moves incrementally closer to having a delivery system for its nuclear arsenal that can reach Seattle and San Francisco. What is needed is a drastic change in our approach to the Korean Peninsula. Specifically, we should abandon our One Korea policy, long embraced by Republicans and Democrats. It's no longer realistic or viable. North Korean soldiers, rear, looking south at a photo op among officials commemorating the signing of the Korean War Armistice Agreement. Pool photo by Young Yeon-jae. Ever since the ceasefire that halted the Korean War in 1953 and maintained the border between what became North and South Korea along the 38th parallel, the official stance of the United States has been to support a unification of the peninsula under the leadership of its close ally, South Korea. This, of course, is anathema to China, which more than anything else wants to reduce the influence of the United States in Asia. Under no circumstances will China tolerate what it sees as a client state of the United States, and a vibrant free market democracy, on its most porous border. The reality on the ground, as difficult as it may be for the Trump administration to stomach, is that despite America's great military and economic might, it has very limited influence over North Korea. China, on the other hand, has substantial influence over the North. More than two-thirds of North Korea's trade is with China. The reality is that the path to resolving the North Korea crisis goes through China. The challenge for Mr. Trump is to find a way to persuade the Chinese that a regime change in North Korea, or, at the very least, serious containment of its nuclear ambitions, is actually in China's best interest. Short of such a strategy, the president is left with two options, neither of which is practical. He can use force to decapitate the Kim regime on his own, or he can escalate America's presence in the region by increasing the number of American troops and moving short-range missiles into South Korea and Japan to have an effective response to a first strike from Pyongyang. The former option would destabilize the region and cause millions